there's kinds of guys out there, like there's types and categories, for sure there are. And one of those types that I've been around a lot in my life, and I have always been polite. 100% of the time I've been polite, but inside, respect is lost, or at least fear or intimidation is lost. I've had opponents of mine, or guys that were perceived opponents, tell me what it is they've done in the weight room, just for example. Instead of discussing what's going to happen when you and I square off one-on-one, they'll tell me that they put up 400 pounds on the bench press. And so that's a kind of guy, but I know another kind of guy, which is that guy's trainer. I know the trainer, I know the coach that becomes the mouthpiece of, and he also doesn't talk about a technique or an impressive victory or a plethora of impressive techniques and victories. He also will talk about that he can do a 4.500 meter race, that he did 17 pull-ups one time and then turned it around, did his biceps, and did 10 more without ever taking a break. I mean, it's the kind of guy, and I've heard about that kind of guy a number of times in my life. I've never feared it, I've never respected, and I've never lost to it. That's just me. That's just the truth. The big blown-up guy with all the that can do all these certain things in the weight room, I'll wear him down every single time. And when I hear it, I also know who's who. There's a massive difference in the trainer that's working on specific techniques, as opposed to the trainer that will tell you about the workload that was done in the weight room by his athlete. It's just different. So when I come out today and I have a trainer telling the world about the numbers of the athlete, but that trainer is Glover Teixeira and that athlete is Alex Pereira, all of a sudden I'm in a different spot. Because now I'm listening, right? So when Glover Teixeira is bragging about the numbers of Alex Pereira, let me give you an example. Glover Teixeira said you can see his abs right now, and he weighs 230 pounds. There's a lot on that. What would normally possibly annoy me, I'm now listening, because this isn't just Glover Teixeira, right? The guy that we like, or Glover Teixeira, who's a loyal cornerman training partner of Pereira. This is also the former champion of the world, the very weight class that we're discussing. And guys, if you know this from anyone, you know it from me. Every athlete has a number. Very seldomly does that athlete ever learn what that number is. So that would mean even more seldomly do we, the audience, know. Daniel Cormier, for example, is a heavyweight. Daniel Cormier made both of his Olympic teams not at heavyweight. Daniel Cormier won the world championship at 205 pounds before he moved up and won it at heavyweight. But I would submit for you, he won it at heavyweight easier than he won it at 205. I would submit that for you. And I will also tell you the year that Daniel Cormier wrestled heavyweight, which included over the best heavyweights in the world, he gave up less points than any other year that he wrestled at 97 kilograms. And I just use those as arguments to share with you that Daniel was a heavyweight. That was his number. And Pereira is a world champion at 185 pounds. But I submit for you that perhaps he does not know where his best body of work comes from. Look, I've never heard Glover talk about somebody with so much praise. But I've also never heard Adesanya speak about an opponent with so much praise. Adesanya has made it very clear, I don't like him. Adesanya has made it very clear, I will fight him. I have not buried the hatchet. Adesanya has made it very clear that is an extremely difficult opponent to fight. In fact, Adesanya told as a blanket statement to the 205 pounders, good luck with him. Have fun. You're about to feel what a monster that guy actually is. You can't get better praise from Israel Adesanya. There has never been better praise. And if I just combine those statements, because see, there's a narrative out there, guys, and I don't know that you have it. I'm not implying that you do, but some of you hands have to go up. There is a narrative and a belief that Pierre is going to get taken down by a 205 pounder and he's going to get held there. And to imagine a 230-pound man ripped up with abs, who, by the way, is a former kickboxing world champion, who, by the way, is a former mixed martial arts world champion, is just going to get held down by somebody? It's going to just get taken there and held there by somebody? That's really hard for me to believe. It's really hard for me to picture. And it most certainly might happen, right? Yeah, it might. But it might also be shown to us that walking around training camp at 230, dropping down and weighing in at 205 and getting back up to about 220 for match day is closer to the number, the preferable training and competing number of Alex Pereira. I believe Alex Pereira was a world champion at the wrong weight class. I don't have enough evidence yet to prove that. I don't have enough evidence yet to convince you guys. But I believe it. And I believe what you saw from Alex Pereira at 185 is nothing compared to what you're going to see from Pereira at 205.